but I think we're going to
Hit the same one to stop.
On behalf of the Deadwood Chamber, I'd like to thank you all for being here today, and please join me in welcoming half of the Deadwood cast to the real town of Deadwood. My name's Tom Griffith. You know, since its early days as a mining camp, Deadwood has always been a living, breathing town. It isn't a theme park, and it never will be. Everything here is real. Whether it's the real 1880 locomotive at Hill City, the real herd of 1,500 buffalo at Custer State Park, or every real brick paved street in the city of Deadwood. This is a real place, and the Black Hills are an original adventure land. The part of the real life that inspires all those animatronics and styrofoam rocks that people see in amusement parks. Since we're not a theme park, we don't have fences or gated turnstiles at the front door. It's almost impossible to get an accurate count of how many people come to visit Deadwood each year. However, all signs indicate that the numbers are up over the past couple of years and they continue to rise. Hotel rooms are booked solid in the middle of the week, something that traditionally hasn't happened in Deadwood before. Visits to websites for the Deadwood Chamber of Commerce, the Adams Museum and House, and other attractions that once received a few thousand hits are seeing hundreds of thousands of hits each month. Estimated attendance at special events is also up, such as the record 15,000 to 20,000 people who saw Sunday night's concert in association with Wild Bill Hickok Days. This huge interest in Deadwood and the Black Hills can be attributed to a number of factors: increased marketing efforts, the attitudes of Americans in a post-September 11th world, and the national publicity we've received from country stars like Big and Rich, who consider this town their second home. However, the HBO dramatic series Deadwood has undoubtedly increased in an incredible impact on visitation to this area. The show premiered last year to 5.8 million viewers, a record for original programming on a premium cable channel. Since then, the show has maintained a steady weekly viewership of about 3 million people, beaming this critically acclaimed show based on Deadwood's early days to homes across the country, and indeed around the world. Since last year, Deadwood has been shown on televisions in Canada, the United Kingdom, New Zealand, Australia, and Brazil. And in recent weeks, we've had press all the way from 2 pages in the New Zealand Herald to this morning's New York Times, which mentions this gathering here today. Yes, Deadwood's namesake has helped solidify the town's place on the map, drawing people to the region like never before. We're very grateful to the folks you see here before you today. They use their talents to create an award-winning program, but they still have time to come out here and play a little bit with us in Deadwood, South Dakota. We look forward to having them for years to come. I'd like to introduce each one, if I may, you guys. I'm not going to do this in any particular order, so if you'd raise your hand, swear, or shoot a round into the ceiling. I'd like to introduce Paula Malcomson, who plays Trixie. Robin Weigert, one of our favorites. One of our newest residents, W. Earl Brown, who plays Dan Dority. Sean Bridgers, who plays Johnny Burns. Jim Beaver, who plays Ellsworth. Jim came here last year for Wild Bill Hickok Days, and we had an opportunity to grab a few Harleys and ride over to Devil's Tower and get inundated in a deluge on the way home, and had a ball. And so it's good to have you back too. Franklyn Ajaye, who plays the General.
The little general.
Titus Welliver, who plays Silas Adams.
Sure.
Gant, who plays the Hostetler. Peter Jason, a veteran actor who plays Con Stapleton. Pavel Lychnikoff, who plays the new Russian telegraph operator Blazanov. Henson, who plays Hawkeye, and he's a consultant for Deadwood. Unfortunately, due to medical reasons, Jerry Jewell could not be with us today, or A.C. Lyles. But I'd like to open it up now to questions for the media, and anyone else who has a question about what they found about the real Deadwood, and what it's like to do a show on the small screen each week that highlights our history.
All of you.
Okay, that's lunch.
That's around.
You'll be at the tables.
Well, have you all had fun here? I mean, I know you haven't been here very long, but...
We plan to have fun.
We plan to have fun.
I've been here for a week. I've had a hell of a whole lot.
I was here for a week last year, and I'm just getting over it. I had a great time.
Well, have you had fun here in Deadwood?
I had a lot of fun with them.
You can talk to Peter Jason about being a veteran actor.
Which is Hollywood talk for really old.
Well, I got a funny story. Last year when I was here, when I knew I fell in love with this town, because we overlapped for a day. I just came up with my family, and we were here for 4 days. Went to Telluride Bluegrass Festival up here. And I was invited, the bodega had their first wet t-shirt contest, and I got invited to be the celebrity judge, so of course I took him out. And one of the guys who shall go nameless for fear of embarrassing him, he's one of the gunfighters out here, because he's the one that invited me over. Well, he worked there, and he was the guy in charge of pouring the water on the ladies. So it finishes, oh, it's a lot of fun. He comes up, he's talking to me, and he says, you know, Earl, I'd really love to stay around and talk, but I got to get back to jail. I said, what? He said, I'm on work release, man. I got to get my ass back to jail. I went, you get out of jail to come and play cowboy all day, and then at night you come over here and pour ice water on chicks' tits. He said, yeah. You got the best job in the whole cell, man. So I knew it was my kind of town.
If there's any openings.
So did the swearing come naturally to you guys or not?
Yes.
What do you care?
There goes the Reader's Digest.
Hooplehead was the only one I hadn't heard before, and David made it up.
Someone tell him about looping.
Oh,
Syndication looping.
syndication looping is where we have to go and make it clean for the clean channels. It takes days and days and days. You're in there for, you know, for a
Dubbing
week.
nice, clean words in over what apparently some people think are dirty. What do you say?
Have you done yours yet?
Things like instead of brick, we'll say stick.
Cob sucker, cheese,
Cob sucker.
cheese and rice,
Cheese and rice.
up your pass.
Up your pass?
That's the worst.
Those are fighting words.
Yeah,
It does sound
does.
worse.
I'm surprised they let you get away with that one. Up your Kyber.
Sometimes you go to bed late.
I go to bed early. I was here on time, motherfucker.
Oh, they got 20 minutes up here.
That's right, Paula, don't sugarcoat it.
Say again?
I just was wondering how the real Deadwood compared to your set, and you know how you feel about it coming here to the real
Cleaner.
Deadwood.
The real Deadwood or the set cleaner?
The real Deadwood's much cleaner.
Well, but they spray the dirt.
Well, it's really, we're at the stage where you still can't walk around without, you know, being up to your knees in muck.
Right.
And shit.
And shit.
Because that's all real.
Shit, it's true.
Horses, yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah.
We haven't figured out how to get horses to artificially crap yet.
But it's great to drive into town and actually see the places that we're working in, you know,
Yeah.
where they are. And it's amazingly how accurate kind of our set is to the town, you know.
So you feel at home then?
You know where to look. You know where to look for.
He's at home, he's been at the slots all morning.
Yeah, but I look around while I'm
One-armed tourist.
For how many of you is this your first trip to Deadwood?
Me?
How about South Dakota?
I've been to Mount Rushmore, but I never went to Deadwood.
Hawkeye came here first in the rodeo circuit.
Yeah,
for
back in the
years.
70s, I came in first time.
Hawkeye's a Hall of Fame bronc buster. My uncle's a big rodeo fan. When we first started the season, it was home Christmas. I said, "Yeah, there's a couple old cowboys that are on our show." I said,
That's
"Who?"
the old.
I said, Hawkeye, Henson, Gary with you. Monty Henson's on your show? I said, yeah. Hawkeye, Monty Henson's on your show. That's when I found out the Michael Jordan of bronc busting.
Michael got a little bit more money now.
So was that really you that Earl dumped in a, I forget which episode it was?
He beat on me till the cows come home, didn't he?
Not a stuntman, huh?
Yeah, well, they did have a stuntman, he flipped over his back, and then other than that, Earl beat on me for a while. He tagged me right under the cheek. One time, he got me with a knuckle under the cheek, and that woke me up. It was about midnight. It was right there.
Earl's a big fella.
I mean, I was glad he didn't get a good solid punch in.
Earl won the lottery for the chance to beat on him.
Well, everybody that knows me enjoys the fact that I did get the shit beat out of me.
Has anyone gone around town to go see where the number 10 was, or where the other places that are in the show are? I mean, I know we've...
Most of us haven't had a chance because we got in about midnight last night.
Yeah.
but-
We drove past them, and they were pointed out to us as we went blowing by, you know, on the way to a couple of hotels. We weren't sure where we were staying
No.
exactly.
Right.
So
I
we
got the
a little
pleasure
bit
yesterday of being in Jerry Bryant's Rhino, his little four-wheel drive ATV. He took me everywhere. We're on dirt roads, man. He took me to these old abandoned mines and showed me where all the encampments were, so I got the deluxe tour.
Nice.
When I was there last year, Louis Lalonde loaned me her Harley, and I sped around on a few paths here and there. I stayed on the roads pretty much. Yeah, any good, but
This is Louis?
No.
no,
Where?
Louis, she's probably busy running the 10.
You having dinner with her tomorrow?
But he's on her motorcycle today.
How long does it take you guys to get used to the vernacular of the show, like when you start filming a new season? Is that kind of a process to get back into that sort of
Takes me no
Victorian?
time, but these guys are pretty slow. It actually does take a while to start to get into the rhythm. It does. I think I noticed last year. I sort of felt like we all found our feet about episode 3, where we started to find
Took
the
you that
rhythm.
long?
I was gonna say,
Yeah, no, I
speak
know.
for yourself.
I wasn't really in much. I was watching these guys.
I felt fine right away, Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't look fun.
I got to read it 2 or 3 times to figure out what it even means.
That's true.
I have to listen to you 2 or 3 times to figure out what you and Cy are talking about.
How many of you guys watch it with the captions on?
Oh, there you go. Honest people in the back.
Okay, how many people watch it? Buy the DVD. Because we missed so much the first time.
I'm in the show, and I watch it with the captions on.
You're in the show?
So I hear.
That's what makes it so good. It works on so many levels. It's funny and it's tragic and it's horrifying and it's all those things in one fell swoop. So you can watch it 3 or 4 times and get new things.
What about we've heard a lot here in Deadwood about the fact that David Milch is following kind of a Shakespearean theme, really, in the way he writes. Do you find that? Have you thought of that at all?
Yeah. Especially EB's character. I think that could be set off.
Who is he?
I don't know where he is.
He called right.
Well, he probably had a job.
Well, he just finished a movie.
He's always working.
What doth thou mean?
Do you know of David's background before television?
Not a lot.
He was the chair of the English department at Yale. He's a summa cum laude graduate, and Robert Penn Warren was his mentor. Mr. Warren took him under wing. And Mr. Warren got him hired on at Yale because David was unhireable by Yale standards. He told this story in the New Yorker, so it's you know.
Yeah, can he act?
Yeah.
So he was at Yale. He was the chair when Mr. Warren retired. He was the chair of the department until Stephen Bochco approached him about writing for Hill Street Blues. And his first script was the 3rd season opener of Hill Street, which won the Emmy. And I said, well, what made you leave academia? He said, well, I'm an absolute unrepentant gambler, and you can put together one hell of a stake in television before you get in college. So that's what led him into. And he's the smartest son of a bitch I've ever encountered.
For sure.
It's
This side of you, yeah.
A friend of mine was in his writing class at Yale, and he said one day a man walked into the classroom with a gun and pointed it at the students. And David had paid this guy to come in and do it, and he explained later that that was real drama. You know, that's how it has to sort of galvanize you to that degree, you know.
Well, Titus has known him for years.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Dave,
way
he
prior
does
to
a
our
great
show.
impersonation of him.
What he's done, you know, this is a little anecdote. When Deadwood, David came to Yale, and I was living in Connecticut at the time, and he called me up and said, I'm going to show Deadwood at Yale to the writing students and the drama students, so I want you to come. And they were doing a Q&A, and because I'd worked with him, he wanted to talk about the process as an actor, since there's incomplete scripts and everything, and the difficulty of that. And so they were having the screening at the law school auditorium, and as we were walking up to the auditorium, David said, you know, I originally started out here at the law school before I got kicked out. And I said, you got kicked out? And he said, yeah, all behind some stupid gunfight with the New Haven police. David had taken about 4 hits of brown microdot acid and had a gun and was shooting streetlights at him. And the thing that, it wasn't so much the gun that got him in trouble, it was the conversation with the cop in which they're getting ready to take him into custody, and David said, I refuse to continue this conversation until your badge stops melting. It's open to suggestions to a certain degree. There's a lot of times when you'll say, how about if I wear purple shoes? And David was, no, I don't think that would.
Come on, do Dave. Come on.
No, it doesn't
He
make,
couldn't be here, you do
it
it.
doesn't make any sense.
It's out of context.
It's totally out of context.
Giving out money on Friday night.
Yeah, they had the
Lottery.
big lottery. Well, the last lottery, how much was that?
20 grand,
Yeah,
25
it's
grand.
He pulls out of his own pocket because the
Yeah.
crew, everybody works for cut rate money because it's HBO.
Including us.
Including us, yeah.
And so as a thank you, every week he gives away at least $5,000, and it's gone up to 20. He pulls it out of his pocket and has a lottery. Everybody's name goes in the bowl. They take how much money you won. Wherever you are, that's how many chances the crew has. So
That makes for a very happy crew.
yeah.
But the actors are excluded from that. So,
So this show has helped Deadwood a lot, has it? I imagine it would help each of your careers being on a show like
I
this.
haven't worked since. I had a great career.
What have you heard?
Yeah, we keep hoping.
In my 40 years, I've never seen a producer that shows up before the start of every scene, before it's blocked. Every single scene, and watches it and either gives his input or doesn't, but usually does. And it's incredible to work that way.
Probably had a better career if more of them had done that, wouldn't
Well,
The
it's-
shows probably would have been better.
But to that question, I mean, yeah, being associated with the hit makes you all the more desirable. And I've gone to a meeting or audition that this is the first thing anybody wants to talk about.
Right.
They're big
Absolutely.
fans.
They don't want to hire us, they just want to talk about it.
it's a little disconcerting, you know, getting off the train at Grand Central in New York and having somebody call me cocksucker.
Oh, yeah. I was in,
Which really gets, I mean, the first couple times,
Yeah.
I'm ready to go, no, you know the show. Oh, that's right.
I was at the Pantages at the Merle Haggard Bob Dylan show, and it was between sets. And the Pantages, they're little privacy walls in the urinals, and they're about this wide. I don't fit in them. And I'm in, and there's like just this influx of men waiting to pee. And I'm standing there, and the guy goes, "Cocksucker! This fucking cocksucker!"
And it's disconcerting when you're signing an autograph to somebody, they say, will you write to you motherfucker? Dear cocksucker.
When my mom asked for that. I said, okay, that's too far.
Well, I guess
guess there's a fraternity at Missouri University that called out on our set and said that they watch our show religiously, and every time the word cocksucker said, they all have a shot. Well, the night that Keone did he said it 16 times and 4 people in the fraternity passed out. Maybe she go to half shots.
Any plans to film in South Dakota?
We
You
don't
got
know.
something in
That'd be an
mind?
administrative question.
Yeah.
There was talk, I mean, there's been talk about it for 2 seasons, primarily a budgetary thing. I know David, just in passing, like in lunch table conversations, yeah, I'd like to go do something out on the plane.
Yeah.
You know, I'd like to do something on the plane, maybe with a buffalo, something like that. But at this point, there's nothing planned. I mean, maybe we'll get a big budget boost that we can come and do that. Because that's really the only thing we can't replicate there in California,
Right.
is that big
What about
open plane
snow?
shot.
We haven't seen any snow.
We haven't seen
in the
snow.
Yeah,
area.
yeah.
We're perpetually in fall.
In the rain.
You guys couldn't bring a bunch of buffalo to Santa Clarita.
There's,
For a price, we could bring it.
there are all sorts of
We won't
story
bring
elements
back.
I know that he plans on dealing with.
It's all about money.
You know, and I would be remiss if, I know there's one thing kind of planned through the production designer that they can do this year with the flood. That doesn't mean we're gonna get to it, so don't write down, well, they're gonna be featuring the flood next season, because that could happen, could not happen. But she's devised a way that we can do it, show the flood, and stay within our budget. So it's been considered. That's just another matter of, that takes more time, which equals more money. And we already spend, you know, I did a guest star on a TV show right when we finished, and I had forgotten what doing TV was like.
Right.
Because you've got 9 days, sometimes 10 days, but you get it and you go, and that's it. And hell, our show's like shooting a big budget feature. I mean, we've taken 3 weeks to do an episode. And that's the great thing about HBO, they let him alone and let him do what he needs to do.
I remember on episode 9 this past season, I came to work and I looked at the call sheet, which is the thing that tells everybody whether they're working that day and all the little details about what needs to be pulled together for the day. And up at the top corner, it said day 19 out of 10.
Right on time.
Day 19.
Yeah, the funeral itself, standing outside.
Oh.
3 days. Was
3 days of standing there outside the boys' house.
Which was supposed to be, you know, a day.
A day.
That's really fun when somebody else, one guy has all the lines, everybody else just standing there.
And we all try to figure out ways how to get out of having to be there. Yeah, which is amazing to watch actors come up with like story points for their character. I don't think, you know, my character would be so completely distraught. That he wouldn't want to attend the child's funeral, and they're looking at like, Adams would have a problem? Needless to say, the 3 of us didn't get out of it. Because we kept saying, well, we're going to Chinaman's Alley because we have some business to take care of. And they just sort of stood there and let us, you know, flog ourselves.
These guys belong to the Robert Mitchum School of Acting. Somebody asked Robert Mitchum once what was the first thing he looked for in a script, and he said, days off.
I love one of my favorite quotes of his. I just read that book about him last year, and Ian worked with him, so Ian told us all these stories about him. Some reporter had like watched all of his movies, interviewing him, and they realized that Mitchum hadn't seen the movies he was talking about, the movies he was in. He says, "Do you mean you haven't seen your work?" He said, "Son, they don't pay me to watch them."
They also asked him if he used the Stanislavski method of acting. He said, I use the Smirnoff method.
This is Robin Weigert.
AKA the Sphinx.
And you might be able to tell she's a little bit different than the character she plays.
Well, I was going to ask you to howl on the street tonight like the real Calamity did.
What's that?
If you would go out and howl on the street, you know,
That'll
after
be
tonight,
me.
because
What a surprise.
I do have a question for Robin, since you do play the famous character of Calamity Jane. I'm sure you've answered this question before, but how do you approach capturing a character like that from history that's real? A lot of people already know a lot about her. That must be challenging.
Yeah, although if you read about her, which I'm sure you guys have here, it's like there's about 10 different accounts about her life. You know, there's so much variety in how people who want to make a hero out of her, and people who want to denigrate her, and people, you know, so they sort of cast it one way or another. It's very hard to get a true read on her. I'm so boring compared to these. Everybody's funny.
Oh, stop it! Just stop it!
That was pretty
So, but, you know, so I just go to sort of David as, you know, I get the character from what he writes and what he's created, much more than from independent. I tried bringing independent research in one time, and he completely tore it apart, so that was the end of that. But, you know, because there's stuff about what she did in the wake of Hickok's death, you know, that she took a butcher's knife and she went after McCall, and, you know, some people say it like that, you know, and David thinks that's all BS, you know. So, but I was looking forward to playing that scene. So but, yeah, so, did that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you guys enjoy working outside so much? I mean, is it nicer, better, more interesting working outside as much as you do?
What's the temperature?
Yeah, it depends what, Friday nights are rough.
Yeah.
We pull an all-nighter on Friday nights, and that's when I'm usually tucked into a good bottle of whiskey. So I'm missing that.
Really? She's not teasing. I've never seen you miss that.
I don't drink.
I know you drank.
I sip.
One thing.
Puzzle's the word, Paula.
No, it can be. It depends. Like we were talking about when we shot the wedding or the funeral. When you're there and it's going on and on, you don't. It's rough.
Another
it can
thing
be rough,
is-
and it's cold out there at night.
Or
hot.
Or hot in the daytime.
You gotta remember, we're shooting either fall or, the last two seasons have either been fall or spring in Deadwood.
And we start in August.
And we start in August, and so we're dressed for spring in Deadwood, usually with 3 layers of clothes.
Yeah.
And it may be
Not me.
110 out there where we're shooting.
And when Franklyn got tarred and feathered, he actually got hurt. Right?
Yeah, I did.
Thank God.
Yeah, they actually screwed up one day. And actually, well, first off, there was this extra, this old guy with a beard. And every day he'd say, "I'm going to tar and feather you today." So the first time, 2 times he said that, I thought, oh, he's just an enthusiastic cat. And every time I go on to say, "Are you going to tar and feather you today?" I said, when they do to myself, when they do tar and feather me, I'm going to be looking for this cat, all right? Because I was too enthusiastic. So anyway, we shot that scene all day, which, you know, I mean, that was a scene when I watched it. It was so brief. I said, "Wow, I can't believe we shot it all day." But one of the takes, it got hot, and when they put it on me, it was actually really hot. And I don't know if they used that tape, because I really screamed. I mean, I was acting except on that one. So, and they said, "How did that happen?" So anyway, I said, you know, if that happens again, it's going to be the FBO network, not the HBO. I'll be working for them. But I actually had to put some aloe vera on that, you know. I mean, it was
That's cool.
but, you know, I didn't really, you know, I was just saying, well, I kept watching that every time, I kept watching a little bit closer after that. But it was, you know, I still got the scar.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Every time they tell you, this isn't gonna hurt.
I mean, we did it all day, and in one take, it just happened like that, you
It's
know?
very hard to do physical scenes like that. We actually don't get hurt, despite what they say.
Like holding that horse down. How hard was that?
Rough.
Yeah,
How hard was that, Franklyn?
I'm a very fine horse. Very fine horse.
Like the wind, right?
Yeah, like the wind.
Every time the horse would move, Franklyn would.
Bolt out of frame.
Sure did.
You enjoy doing all the horse riding? I mean, getting on, getting off? I mean,
When do we
That's
get
pretty much what it is. I mean, all my friends, when I first started doing it, they said, "Oh man, you get to ride a horse." And I said, "I ride into town, I get off the horse, and then at the end of the season, I ride out of town." It's getting on and getting off. There's no.
I bet there's 75% of us on the show haven't been on a horse yet.
Yeah.
Can you ride it? Because they had to teach me how to ride, and then they didn't use me. They didn't use me. They taught me one morning.
I saw
Then you hide behind the trees and watch
Then we broke it off.
On a dead horse.
know David just did that to watch you squirm.
I tell you, they didn't use me. They just had me getting off. And I almost pulled a muscle with just getting on.
Yours are the horses.
Climbing on.
I think the theory is to keep the horse between you and the ground, right?
Yeah.
That's it.
It's a very physical show. Sean's dragging a dead body. Remember that scene through the mud when it was really raining? And that thing just wouldn't move. Kind of dragging dead, but who was on there?
That was Ray McKinnon, wasn't it?
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That preacher.
Yeah, the preacher taking him over to swear.
Which is fun, but you do it 15 times.
Well,
The first couple times you're like, it's easy, what a great job.
On a wood
Yeah.
sled.
Then by about
Man, a 2x4 slide, you know? Like,
You had that wrestling match with Woo the day you were carrying that real pig around.
Oh
on your
yeah, carrying the
shoulder.
pig was fun. The pig was frozen when we started in the morning. And then by about 5 o'clock, it just started. The worst part of it was the way I had to set the pig was so that its legs were like this, the front, because I had to flip it around my shoulder, right? That was important. That was a Milchism. It's like, okay, you got the pig. So I got. But the problem with that is after that pig thawed for about 5 hours, every time you put the pig, I can't really explain it. I'll try. You put the pig on, and its cavities open. So it just made the sound. I wish I had a microphone every time. It's right by your ear, and it goes. I go speed rolling, and I'd hear. In the meat house, in Woo's meat house, that's all real.
Yeah.
It's not fake. They go and buy that stuff of a morning, and the pigs are frozen. They're like, you remember the baby pigs in Chinaman's Alley? That scene?
Yeah, that was.
We started with like these aborted piglets, and there's like a dozen of them, and they were getting ripe by the end of the day. Yeah.
Oh man, there was the day that we shot that funeral scene for the kid. The little girl was there, and she was, we all have a little trouble staying there for that long, but when it's a little kid like that, it gets really tough. And she was, the first day we did it, she burst into tears at a certain point. So the second day, it was my mission to keep her entertained. And it was, I triple dare you too was the game, and then you had to do the thing that she triple dared you to do. And there was a carp hanging from hanging from one of the the set pieces, and it had been hanging there. I think it was a carp. It had been hanging there pretty much all day the day before, and it was hanging there. And she triple dared me to stick my finger in his mouth. And so it was my mission to keep her happy, so I had to go and do it. And I made a big production out of it, and I did that. And the thing had teeth, and my finger came out bloody. And I was just so ski-fied. The medic came and applied things to make sure I didn't get some horrible...
You got bit by a dead carp?
She grew up in the city. She didn't know no better.
I was like, anything for that child.
It's really hard to follow something like that up with another question, but I'm going to try. This is a question more for Pavel and Paula, I believe, because you two are from, not from the United States, right? Paula, you're from Ireland, right? And then Pavel, you're Russian, is that right?
I thought it was African.
It seems like you have a pretty international cast. Ian is British.
Yeah.
What's it like being from another country working on a set like this with all of these people?
Great.
Fantastic. It never felt like too much of a stretch for me because a lot of the Ulster people settled in the south along the Appalachian Trail, and that's where a lot of the music, etc., comes from. So these things are seem very natural to me. I'm sure it's a bigger stretch for Pasha, who's from
No, I'm all right.
far away. Are you okay?
I'm fine.
You're doing okay. But yeah, it's been incredibly fun, and when I take my mom, because I'm from Belfast, when I take my mom and dad to the set, they're like, Jesus fucking Christ, they've never seen anything like it,
See, there's not enough cursing in this show to really capture it.
People have asked me, was it hard to, embrace the language, and I said it was hard to tone it down.
Other girl.
What's that?
You were typecast.
Indeed.
You ought to see her Joan of Arc.
Does anyone have a closing question? If not, what I'd like to do is give you a little heads up on what's going to happen after this. We have an 11:30 in front of the Bullock where you have a photo op with all of the cast assembled in front of the Bullock, stagecoach, wagons, etc. And then this afternoon, 2 to 4 at the Tatanka, Gold Dust, and Cadillac Jacks, there'll be autograph sessions. The cast is going to split up and do those. Tomorrow they'll be touring, some of them Rushmore, some Buffalo herds of Custer State Park, others will be hanging around Deadwood. And I want to thank you for coming out here today. I also want to let you know that we'll have a few moments right now to do one-on-ones. If you care to, it'll be a little loud out on the street, I'm
I'm
sure.
not making out with anybody.
I am.
Okay, we've got someone interested back there too.
Do they have to be just one-on-one?
$2,400. So join me again in thanking the cast for being here. We really...
Nobody's going to bring up the point about the poker game tomorrow.
It's
Robin
over.
is-
It's over.
Robin is a celebrity poker champion for anyone who doesn't already know that.
I'm signed up. I'm taking her on. Anyone else? You're in?
Yeah.
I don't know how to play, but I think maybe I have time to learn.
learning on there, honey.
I learned this morning.
Thank you again. Time for one-on-ones if anyone would like to. Hello. Oh, that's me. Where is that mic?
Would you tell him not to autograph
It's me. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming half the cast from HBO Deadwood series. I want to emphasize that this is not an autograph session. This is a question and answer period. Anyone can pose a question to these characters, and I'll have Earl introduce them all.
All right, there. Sean Bridgers, who plays Johnny Burns. Titus Welliver is Silas Adams. Franklyn Ajaye is Samuel, the little General Beals. You all know Trixie the whore, Paula Malcomson. Least like their character, Robin Weigert. Jim Beaver is Whitney, Conway, Ellsworth. Is that it?
Bingo.
Yeah. Hawkeye Henson is Hawkeye. Pasha, okay, now I'm blanking on the last name.
Lychnikoff.
There is Blazanov. I keep saying Pasha Blazanov. It's Blazanov. Richard Gant is Hostetler. Yeah. Peter Jason, although he doesn't have his stovetop hat, is Stapleton. And I guess it's open for questions, basically. That's the purpose. Anybody have a question? Last one.
Trixie, I'm going on a poker on my motorcycle. You want to go along?
Trixie has been invited to ride his hog. Trixie?
And I'm not saying no.
Y'all's a shy bunch. Yes.
I just want to say, you play Calamity Jane. I think you're awesome.
Yeah.
Titus, Who's some of your favorite actors you've ever worked with?
James Bullock.
Thank you.
No.
Yeah.
They did a movie together. Other questions?
Anything you want to ask?
For anybody, what their favorite episode or scene was?
Favorite episode or scene? The next one. Anybody?
Cocksucker.
Any scene that doesn't include the word Ellsworth dying gas.
I don't know, I think our finale episode, actually both of them, but about the finest hour TV ever produced.
Yeah!
The finale episode of the first season was absolutely phenomenal. I think we equaled it this season.
Yeah, I agree.
Any scene you got Brad Dourif dancing in, that's a good. Brad bowed out, yeah.
Do you have as much fun on the set as you have off the set here?
More. Hang around Hawkeye. Yeah. Yes. That's really kind of the anomaly. I'm speaking for myself, but I was looking forward to this to see everybody. And I wish the other half could have been here. It's just, everybody's so busy in schedules, but I genuinely look forward to going to work.
If every television show I'd ever been on, the cast got along as well as the cast of this show, a lot of those shows would have been a lot more pleasant.
Yeah.
This is a great bunch.
The anomaly is there's not an asshole in the whole cast. Well, maybe me, but, I'm looking out. I'm not looking in.
It's hard to see when you're inside the barrel.
Love. It is like, it's something that, you just don't go anywhere that Saturday night. You gotta watch it, bring everybody over. But the question I have is like, using the English that you have to use, like, I can see a normal costume, you have a script, but how hard is it to learn to talk like they talk? I'm not talking about the swear words, but like the actual English, where it sometimes comes out backwards and strange.
She's asking about the rhythm of the language and how difficult it is to learn. Who has the most to say amongst us generally? Robin or Paula?
I mean, like sometimes, like when you have a minute worth of dialogue, you're just going, you gotta watch the
We gotta look at it a few times, and it's wise not to have too much to drink the night before. But after a while, it becomes like dancing, Once you know the steps and you sort of have an idea about it, you find the rhythm. There's a rhythm in that language. It's really poetic and beautiful. So you really look forward to, when you do get a lot to do or say, you really look forward to it.
And you don't change, you follow David's punctuation. He's open to change before we rehearse. You can make suggestions, and he may take them, he may not. But you don't change a thing about it. He may change on you. It's the funny one, like with Billy. Billy Sanderson, EB, he's got to have his stuff the night before, and he memorizes it verbatim, down pat. And then David will change a line on it just to watch him squirm.
We love it.
Billy will squirm.
And he keeps his lines in his boots as well.
Does he?
He does, yes.
The language is a lot easier to say than it is to figure out what it means.
Yeah, see, that's what a lot of it, you kind of go, what was it they just said? The story is.
I go back and watch the show, and I hear lines and go, oh my God, that's what that meant. I should have said that whole other thing completely different.
He also writes in a way that's so specific for each character that we couldn't do each other's lives. It would be strange,
I can do Trixie's lines.
You can wear my clothes, but you couldn't do my lines.
Actually, I think you do a good job. I think you do a good job with Dolly's lines.
With Dolly's lines? I don't have that much dialogue, but what I found was that it is very. I've never studied lines like I've studied these lines. Okay, and I would go to sleep actually saying them in my mind, and the next day they still wouldn't sound right. And I've never had that experience because it's so different from contemporary language. Okay, and then he writes in a certain rhythm and he uses a vocabulary. And I'm a quick study because I used to do stand-up comedy, and I would study these lines. I'd be driving through the set, and they still would never sound right. Then I'd watch the episode and say, oh, okay, they came out sounding right, but I'm not used to hearing that. come from my ears. I mean, my ears, yeah. It isn't. Well, it's not for me. And one of the things I do is I watch Ian and I watch Paula and I watch all the people who have the long speeches. Because those are very difficult, how they bring it to life. Because you look at it and you say, I mean, I've seen Ian get his the night before. Okay? And these are huge long speeches. So I watch a lot of them. I watch them saying, because my goal is to be able to get a really long speech. That's the goal. You know what I mean?
Other questions? Anybody?
Everybody all talk at once.
We're all too busy gambling, but
What's your favorite part of Deadwood? Your favorite part of Deadwood?
Favorite part of Deadwood?
Of this Deadwood, of our Deadwood.
Well, we haven't been there long enough.
we all got in pretty late last night.
I have
There's only a couple of us.
Peter's got a favorite part.
But it's a pretty town.
I haven't tried Bullock yet, but I like Hickox a lot.
He won $2,400.
Wants to take it out in pussy.
One shot.
I think he's saying something about drinks on the house.
A hole in one.
We know so too.
Just a reminder, 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock, there are autograph sessions at Goldust, Tatanka, and Cadillac Jacks. There'll be posters available with all of their names on them that they can sign, and we look forward to having you there. Again, help me welcome them, the cast of Deadwood, to the real Deadwood.
Get Weigert money. His name was extraordinary. He did all the Pasha's American recording. He worked with Johnny the family for years. So hopefully, ideally, we get that. We can come out about the time this. I need to keep this area clear. But the hoedown is the song that we're using. So, did you hear it? Hear the desk?